Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your educator. I warmly welcome you all on our YouTube platform where we in today's video are going to move ahead with the topic that we were discussing already, causation and its rules. That is part 2. So I've already made a video in part 1 where I have tried to talk about the different rules of causation. What is it? We are going to revise that same thing here, and then we are going to move ahead with the rest of the rules which were left, right? So first of all, let's just all understand what is causation, how the researcher, whosoever is there, is going to know about the cause and effect in a particular relationship that is required when person is doing some sort of research. So causation is the relationship between cause and effect in research. Now you all should be particularly acquainted with cause and effect variable. Whenever I talk about cause in the field of research, you need to make sure that you are understanding it in the sense of an independent variable. On the other hand, if I am trying to talk about the effect here, effect always and always will occur in the dependent variable. Right? So anything which causes to some sort of or leads to some sort of an effect is something that we have by the names independent and dependent variable. Now whenever a researcher wants to do some sort of experiment, तो पहले वो देखते हैं कि इस चीज का cause क्या होगा, then what will be the effect. Let's just say if I start drinking green tea for 30 days straight, I will see that yes, of course, my metabolism has improved, right? Even if I'm eating fast food, उसका मेरे ऊपर कम असर हो रहा है because I am promoting my gut health by drinking green tea. But if I stop drinking green tea from the 31st day to another 30 days again, I will see the changes in my body. So you see the change, the cause here is green tea, which is impacting my bodily physical health. Right? So यही होता है causation का. Causation is the relationship between these two variables, cause and effect. It is used to establish a clear causal connection which is crucial for meaningful conclusions. Only then you will be able to make sense that yes, of course, green tea पी रहे थे तो weight lose हुआ or something like that. Correct? Meaningful conclusions पे only then you guys can reach out to. Researchers follow rules to guide the evaluation of these causal relationships, and these are what we are going to do. Now, what are these rules? These concepts are crucial. They are very important in establishing this cause and effect relationship in the field of research. हर एक researcher को ये जानना जरूरी होता है that what is the variable जिसकी वजह से effect change हो रहा है, जो outcome आ रही है that is being changed, which is that variable that the researcher wants to know, right? So understanding and applying rules ensures that valid and reliable research is being done. If I'm going to repeat it again, if I'm going to redo it, I know that the result might be same or similar as the results were previously. Right? Essential for your study design, data collection and drawing conclusions that we have covered already in the previous slide as well. Now moving ahead with the other rules that I have here is number 1, specificity rule. I have incorporated several examples here as well to make sure that you guys are understanding the particular causation or the rule that is specified under this particular topic. So पहला rule जो आज की क्लास में है that is specificity rule. According to this rule, a cause should produce a specific effect without a multitude of other outcomes. It means that your outcome should be singular only. Specific का मतलब क्या होता है? Particular, एक होना, कोई एक चीज होना. So whatever your cause is there, that cause should just and just produce one effect. It should not produce multiple effects. मतलब अगर ग्रीन टी पीने से मेरा वेट लॉस हो रहा है, then सिर्फ ग्रीन टी और वेट लॉस is the only thing that I should be seeing. I should not be seeing any changes in other variables such as my hair growth has improved or something like that. It's only the weight loss that I need to measure and एक specific outcome ही होनी चाहिए rather than multitude, यानी कि बहुत ज़्यादा outcome से ज़्यादा एक ही होनी चाहिए. Let's just look at the examples. A drug, that is a medicine, is linked to reduce blood pressure with no significant side effects. So of course it will not yield any side effects on anyone. अगर कोई भी इंसान बीपी के लिए वो मेडिसिन खाएगा, then there will be no side effects. Correct? So this is the specific outcome that is coming, that no side effects are there. Example 2 says that a specific pesticide, ठीक है, पेस्ट को कंट्रोल करने वाली, टारगेट्स ओनली अ पर्टिकुलर पेस्ट विदाउट हार्मिंग अदर ऑर्गेनिजम्स. तो यू नो, जब लोग फार्मर्स खेतों में काम कर रहे होते हैं, दे यूज सर्टेन पेस्टिसाइड्स एंड ऑल, राइट, टू किल सम सॉर्ट ऑफ पेस्ट्स एंड ऑल. तो यू वांट टू मेक श्योर दैट एक स्पेसिफिक पेस्टिसाइड है जिसमें वो सारे इंग्रेडिएंट्स हैं which are just going to kill one sort of pest and leave out other organisms which are important for the soil to hold. That is example number 2. That is the specificity rule कि वो एक specific जो pesticide है, it will just kill one sort of pest only. Example 3, a particular teaching method leads to improved scores in a specific subject without affecting performance in other areas. Let's just take an example here of history, right? History as a subject. So history को पढ़ाने के लिए, let's just see if the teacher is using some sort of visual aids. वो आप लोग को YouTube पे कुछ videos दिखाती हैं animated, ठीक है, कोई भी teacher XYZ. So that particular thing, because it is being visually shown, particular specific thing, because it is visually, getting registered in your mind, उस वजह से आपकी performance बेहतर हो रही है, right? So one specific thing is leading to one specific outcome, right? So let's just look at the second type here, that is the mechanism rule. Understanding and specifying the mechanisms, the processes basically, mechanisms or processes through which a cause produces its effect. वो process बताना जिसकी वजह से effect हो रहा है, right? Example 1, let's just take. A dietary supplement has a clear biochemical mechanism for enhancing cognitive function. Your cognitive function of your brain will enhance with the dietary supplement that you take. So it will talk about the biochemical mechanism that goes in your brain and anything like that. Then we have example 2, the mechanism through which a new technology improves energy efficiency is well documented. कोई भी नई टेक्नोलॉजी ले लो, how through that particular new technology, उस नई टेक्नोलॉजी की प्रोसेस की वजह से एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी जो है वो बहुत सही तरीके से डॉक्यूमेंट की जा रही है, राइट? तो थ्रू द प्रोसेस दैट इज हैपनिंग, that is one such thing, that is mechanism rules. Then we have example 3, a medical treatment operates by influencing specific receptors in the body, explaining its therapeutic effect. कि मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट की वजह से कुछ स्पेसिफिक रिसेप्टर्स जो हैं बॉडी में ट्रीट किए जाते हैं, उनको टारगेट किया जाता है, जिसकी वजह से we feel some sort of relief through that particular medicinal thing, right? So this is what is the process. जिसमें process की बात कर रहे हैं, that is mechanism. जिसमें specificity की बात कर रहे हैं, that one effect should lead to only one outcome and not multiple outcomes, that is the specificity rule. Then we have the third one for today's class is dose response relationship or dose response rule. A stronger or more frequent exposure to the presumed cause should result in a more pronounced effect. How? Let's just take a look at the example. Higher doses of a pain reliever lead to greater pain reduction in a controlled study. कि अगर कोई इंसान let's just say 4 घंटे के गैप पे पेन किलर्स खा रहे हैं, they are feeling some sort of pain in their joints, in their body, etc. because they are eating or they are having more painkillers which should not be done logically, उस वजह से pain reduction जल्दी हो रहा है. Example 2, increased hours of sunlight exposure correlate with higher levels of vitamin D in the body. तो वो डोज मिल रहा है, right? डोज रिस्पॉन्स, उस डोज की वजह से, विटामिन डी के डोज की वजह से the response is being enhanced in our body, that yes of course sun exposure is leading to me having vitamin D in my body, right? Example 3, more frequent exercise sessions result in greater improvement in cardiovascular, cardiovascular fitness. कि मेरी heart health जो है, it is improving more because I am exercising more. So whatever dose I am giving, that dose is having some sort of positive response here, right? That is what is dose relationship, dose response relationship. Correct? Then we have experimental. This was number 3. Then we have number 4. Experimental evidence rule. इन एक्सपेरिमेंटल स्टडीज में ही यूज होता है, जहां पे क्या होता है, कॉज इफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप ऑफ कोर्स देखने की कोशिश करते हैं. वी आर मेकिंग चेंजेस इन द कॉज, आई एम मेकिंग चेंजेस इन द इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, वी आर एबल टू सी डिफरेंसेस इन द डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. So particularly randomized control trials are considered strong evidence for causation. What are randomized control trials? Whenever we do some sort of experimental research, there we majorly will have two groups. हमारी experimental study में there always will be two groups. One group will be known as the experiment or treatment group. The other group will be known as the control group. Now ये एक experimental group की खासियत होती है. You see the word here, randomized controlled trials. What do we mean by randomization? Randomization is a process. Let's take an example here. Schools में lotteries होती थी, right? Colleges में होती थी when there used to be some sort of fest and everything happening around, right? So what lottery वाले भैया या दीदी जो भी होते थे वो क्या करते थे? They used to put name, आपकी चिट्स के ऊपर नाम लिख के, they used to put it in the bowl and all, and they used to shake it up and 5 लोगों की लॉटरी निकालते थे, 5 नाम निकालते थे. Correct? That is what is randomization. Here the didi or bhaiya, whosoever is picking up the chits here, they are not being biased. In experimental research, the researcher needs to be unbiased. And unbiased nature कैसे आएगा? If the researcher is randomizing things. Randomization कैसे आएगी? Randomization की वजह से objectivity will come, right? So here you see that in this experimental evidence rule, you will just show that because of the fact that the randomized control trials are taking place, इसका एक strong evidence है related to cause and effect. Now what you will do here, let's just imagine again, मेरे पास 20 participants हैं. I have 20 participants. Now what will I do? I will, बहुत सारे तरीके हैं randomization करने के. We have 4 types of random sampling methods. I can choose one of them. Lottery method ही choose कर सकती हूँ. Now what will I do? उन 20 लोगों की चिट्स निकालूंगी, चिट्स के ऊपर नाम लिख के I will just put it up in a box and shake it up, and then 10 लोगों की चिट्स में निकाल के अलग रख लूंगी, 10 की बोल में ही होगी. Now the people जिनकी मैंने पहले 10 चिट्स I have picked up, I can consider them in the experimental group and the 10 remaining will be in the control group. Always remember, the control group will receive no treatment बच्चा, इनको कुछ नहीं मिलेगी treatment. They will just be there so that we can compare both the groups and see कि अगर मैं इनको medicine दे रही हूँ तो इनकी pain जो है reduce हो रही है और इनको कुछ नहीं मिल रहा, पेन के लिए पेन किलर नहीं मिल रहा तो उनकी पेन उतना ही लेवल है. So just to compare and see, it's just the medicine which is affecting the experimental group people, and always experimental or treatment group will receive the treatment, control group will not receive the treatment, right? So let's just look at example number 1 here. Participants in a clinical trial show a significant decrease in symptoms after receiving a new medication. So you might say that yes, of course, the new medication, और ये groups usually तो 2 होते हैं, one more group can also be included, which could be termed as experimental group 1, experimental group 2. ठीक है, इससे क्या होगा, जैसे अभी मैंने जो एग्जांपल दी उसमें ये 2 चीजें दी गई हैं और एक हमारा ट्रीटमेंट ग्रुप हो, कंट्रोल ग्रुप हो सकता है, सॉरी. Now what will happen here is that group 1 is receiving old medication, group 2 is receiving new medication, and group 3 is receiving no medication. You will see the new medicine is helping in pain relief faster than compared to old one. And इनको तो कोई treatment ही नहीं मिल रहा है, right? So that is why we need this thing. Now, second example, randomized controlled trials demonstrate that a specific therapy leads to higher recovery rates. अगर कोई भी therapy है, we can consider therapy through the psychological stance as well. It can receive to different recovery, higher recovery rates. Example 3, an experiment reveals a direct link between a new fertilizer and increased crop yield. Crop की yielding में ज़्यादा increment हो रही है because there is a new sort of fertilizer that has come. So this was experimental evidence rule. ये सारी चीजें if you need to you can just push the video वापस थोड़ा सा and you can understand it because इसमें से ही काफी questions बन जाते हैं, right? Then we have the analogy rule. This is the 5th type that we have for today's lecture. 4 types I think I have discussed already in the previous ones. Analogy draw करना, drawing parallels between observed and established cause-effect relationships in different contexts. Right? So analogy draw करना मतलब parallel draw करना. Take for example, drawing an analogy between the impact of sunscreen on skin health and the potential benefits of a new protective clothing material. So you want to see कि अगर मैं कोई protective clothing material डाल लेती हूँ and I'm not wearing sunscreen, how is that particular material going to reduce the harmful UV ray की जो radiations है मेरी skin पे जाके उसको खराब करने के लिए. Example 2, comparing, यहाँ पे comparison ही होगा, comparing the relationship between regular exercise and improved mental health to the well-established link between social connections and mental well-being. So you want to see कि अगर कोई इंसान socially ज़्यादा लोगों के साथ connect करते हैं, then their mental well-being is there. और दूसरा, exercise की वजह से mental well-being. So how both of these things are leading to the same results, that is mental well-being. So you want to draw parallel between two different things. Then example 3, analogizing the effect of a specific nutrient on plant growth to the well-known impact of sunlight on photosynthesis. तो एक जो आपका natural effect है उसको आप observed effect के साथ you are trying to compare it with, right? So why do we require these rules? So that there is validity and reliability that can be established in the research. कि हमारी research सही चल रही है, हमें पता है कि क्या cause है, क्या effect है. Avoiding any sort of spurious relationships that are incorrect. Correct? कि let's just say अगर green tea की वजह से नहीं, बल्कि exercise की वजह से मेरा weight reduce हो रहा था, तो I did not confuse the cause here. That's why understanding the cause and effect is really important here in research. Enhancing research quality, of course, if you know the cause and effect relationship, the quality will be enhanced. Scientific rigor, to add some sort of systematic and methodical rigor to the research process and guiding the study design. क्योंकि हमने देखा कि it will guide the study design, how your study design will proceed, and later on you can generalize things. Decision making में इसका एक impact हो सकता है. Whatever you are trying on a sample, you can generalize it to the population, right? And it will also lead for you to understand some sort of ethical considerations that are there when one wants to do some sort of research, right? Maintains integrity and credibility, and you will not be biased. You will have clearly communicated what is the relationship between one sort of cause and one sort of effect, right? And how their practical implications in the practical real world situations can be done, right? So with this was a topic which was newly asked in the NET examination in 2023. So I hope things are clear to you. If you still have any doubts, आप लोग comment करके नीचे बता सकते हैं, right? And on our channel we have videos both Hindi or English में. If you want to scroll them, you can go through the playlist, right? Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.